I've done quite a few videos on how to sharpen axes. One thing that I've never addressed is how to determine the proper angle. Today I'm going to show you how to build a simple and easy jig that you can get it right every time. So to start with, we're going to need a piece of wood. It's got to be a hardwood. Make sure you pick something like hickory or walnut or oak, something that'll really hold up. Dimensions wise, it's going to have to be 3 inches long, 2 inches wide, and no less than 1/4 inches thick. So mark your piece at 1, 2, and 3 inches. So we're going to cut our piece at 3 inches. Now we're going to cut hash marks at the 1 and 2 inch marks. Don't go too deep. We're only going to go maybe a 1/16 of an inch or so. We're going to transfer these marks all the way around. Just put your saw in there. And just one little cut like that. Now we can flip it over and transfer the lines to the other side. So the gauge is going to have 2 different angles. What this is this is going to determine what angle we want to file our axe or our maul to. So there's 2 different degrees that I typically use, the 25 degree and then the 20 degree. The 20 degree is what you're going to use on your really smaller, your finer cutting tools like your American felling axe and even some of your smaller hatchets. This is typically going to be really common for an American style grind, where on the other side here, the 25 is going to be more suitable for our splitting mauls, heavy tools like that. So let's start with the 25. So the next thing we want to do is to find center right down the middle. And so we'll just take our combo square there and mark that. So using the tool of your choice, we need to determine this angle. So it's going to be, this is going to be the big side for the maul, the splitting. So we're going to go 25 degrees. So that's 12.5 on each side. So we've got 10, 15. So right in the middle. I find it really difficult to read this with my aging eyes. So I use this magnifying glass that helps me immensely. Be very careful and take your time and get this right. So you want to make sure that your pencil's good and sharp. We want these lines to be real precise. Okay, so this is going to be our 25 degree. This is going to be for our splitters. We're going to come over here and right there in that 1 inch, we're going to make a line. So in determining what's the best angle for our cutting axes or small hatchet, this is where there may be some disagreements on this because there's a couple different schools of thought. So what I have seen, and again I'm not the expert on this, but what I have seen with the Swedish axes or the European war style axes is they're much thinner in the cheek, meaning in here, than our American axes. Granted, this is well, I think these are very comparable sizes, but here is here's just a jersey pattern, I believe. But look how thick in the cheek it is. Right there. See how fat that is compared to our Swedish axe? So that is going to determine the angle a little bit. So what's the difference? Whether we go 20 degrees or 18 degrees. Look at this one here, even thinner yet. This is like a Baco, and this is why we've had such problems with the edges rolling over on this, because it's ground too thin. We're getting into 16 degrees there, and that's just not enough. So 18, I think, 18 to 20 is kind of the sweet spot. This here is about 19, the Grand Force Brooks. Right what it came from the factory from Sweden, and it's never rolled. I've never had an issue with it. So I think that anywhere from that 18, maybe 19 is the ideal, is just about perfect. However, you know, if you get an axe with big cheeks like this in American style, trying to get that 18 degrees is going to be really difficult. So I would say, I'm going to do mine as a rule of thumb. You know, you've got to kind of play it by ear. We're going to go 25 and 20 degrees on our jig. So for this side, our 20 degree side, we don't want to come up the full edge. We're going to put a mark there at a 1/2 inch. But we're usually going to be dealing with much finer points. And then we can go with our 20 degrees. That'll be 10 per side, 10 and 10. So take it right to the mark. Of course, make sure these edges are squared with your miter box. I didn't show that I squared both of them, but I did. Right there. All right, now we're going to put this in your vise so it's not moving around on you. We're going to very carefully cut this out, and we're going to try to leave the line if we can. We're going to pare down the line by hand. Put your finger right there. Just so with whatever tools you have, you want to kind of trim to the line. I'm using the small carpenter's knife, a little Stanley knife. It's really good for this. What we want to do, especially on the splitting side, is we want a little bit of a convex. We don't want to interrupt this point or this point. We don't want to make that any wider, any bigger, but we want to have just round that out a little bit. So whatever tool you can find to do it, I've just used kind of a combination of this, just taking my time, and I just want that to have a little bit of a bulge in it. It doesn't have to be, if you don't have that and you don't file that way, it's not a super big deal. It will cause you a little bit more work, which we'll see towards the end here. I'll explain why. But it's not, certainly not the end of the world. Once I kind of get that where I want it, kind of pared down. And again, this is just a reference. It's just to get you on the right track. It's not holy scripture here. I've got a small nail file. You can use the file on your Victorinox, whatever you have, something small that can get in there, and just even that out, making sure that you got some consistency. Taking your time is the key on this. Don't get in a hurry. This is a tool that if you do it right, will last you the rest of your life. I think that'll just about do it. So that 20 degree for the cutting edge is where I start, but what I consider to be the gold standard as far as ability to really penetrate, to bite into the wood, and to maintain, to have the perfect combination of sharpness and toughness is the factory grind on the Grand Force brick. So you can see right there, that is pretty much what I'm trying to go for, something really close to that. I know that that is going to be a good edge for cutting. So now here on the 25 degree side, we'll take a properly ground splitting maul, and that is going to be just about perfect for that. That's a good, really tough, durable edge. The old timers, if you read in the old books, many of them will say, and I don't know why, they'd say that the 25 is the ideal for the cutting head. I couldn't disagree more with that. That's way too fat. If we take this right here, which is not a thin ground, this is a real classic kind of an American small felling axe there, you can see that that is a pretty fat in the cheeks, and look at that. I mean, that's 25 degrees, no way, not for cutting. For splitting, yeah. For cutting, we need to be between 18, or like here, between 18 and 20. Just like that. So I kind of like to mark my stuff, just I can kind of remember what it is. Helps me to commit it to memory. I found these old steel stamps on my granddad's things. These are really cool. I remember him using these on marking different things. They're just 1 through 10. They're cool, aren't they? So what I do is I just put them here together in a pair of vice grips like that. We'll heat them up and then we can burn those numbers in there. So that's it, the official axe filing guide. I don't think you'll see one of these before. This is my invention. I made it up. Maybe the two-part side, or the two having both sides or two different angles on one anyway. Yeah, it would have been nice to make one out of brass, but I searched high and low. I just couldn't find any. But I think the old hickory or a hardwood like this will last forever. So I don't need two of these. I already had one. I just made one to kind of show you guys on this video. I'd like to give this one away to one of my subscribers, one of you guys. If you, nothing complicated to get it. If you'd like it, just leave a comment. Leave a comment, or if you don't want to leave a comment, you can just send me an email or a personal message, whatever, telling me what you'd like it for and what axe you're going to sharpen. And we'll just randomly pick someone out of the comment section and I'll mail this off to you. So there you go. All right, so thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.